It is Stugotz and Company, presented by FanDuel and the FanDuel Sportsbook. We are sending Taylor out on assignment today. He is headed out to the Mecca, to Madison Square Garden, to get a feel, a pulse of the fan base as we get ready for a big Game 4, Knicks and Spurs tonight. Taylor also has a conspiracy theory. Izzy, what'd you make here of Wemby not getting the flagrant foul? It's hard because back when I was growing up watching the NBA playoffs, that was not a flagrant foul. Right. That was every other possession down the court. But in today's NBA, having watched it back a number of times now, it's hard for me to fathom how anyone looked at that, especially in slow motion, and said to themselves, hey, not a flagrant. It was a flagrant foul.
Right, because
changed.
What do they say, the refs, when they come back and they basically go through the rules and say it did not meet the criteria for a flagrant foul? It did not have a wind-up. It did not have a follow-through, right? And it didn't seem unintentional. I guess you can talk yourself into that, right? There wasn't necessarily a wind-up. There was a follow-through, right?
Yes.
And was it necessary? Not wasn't intentional, excuse me. Was it necessary? Was it a necessary action? And was that necessary? I mean, he was kind of getting a defender off of him who was kind of, probably, but not really, right? Not really necessary to do that via the neck. But there's also like the size difference that makes it seem weird, because if that was a big guy in front of him and he'd pushed him off, he'd been maybe hitting him in the back instead of the back of the neck. So, yes, I think it feels like they wanted to avoid putting Wemby in this position where he can't get another flagrant foul. And if I was a conspiracy theorist like Taylor, I would be angry.
Izzy, when I got that notification yesterday, the least surprising thing in the world, because it's not just that the NBA doesn't know how to officiate Wemby, it's the NBA isn't going to officiate Wemby, and they're not really helping the pro Spurs whistle narrative, where it feels like they're going out of their way to protect the face of the league, this golden boy, Adam Silver's golden boy. If you switch where Wemby was with Luke Cornett, and it's Luke Cornett shoving Jalen Brunson, I think today we're talking about Luke Cornett having a flagrant foul.
Well, correct me
if it's anyone else, Izzy, I would argue if it's anyone but Wemby, it's a flagrant foul today. It is.
There was nothing called there, right?
No.
Right.
And Izzy, you're right. Listen, your larger point is correct. The optics on this are never going to favor Wemby. It's a 7'4", 7'5" guy swatting a guy who's 6'2", 6'3". And so the optics are never going to look good, never going to be favorable to Wemby, always going to favor the small guy. But it was not necessary. It just wasn't a necessary thing to do at that moment in the game.
Felt like it wasn't.
I'm going to read you Mark Stein's post and tell me if you could figure out what's wrong with it.
Okay.
The NBA says there will be no additional sanctions against San Antonio's Victor Wembanyama for his first quarter shove of Jalen Brunson in Game 3.
Additional? There was nothing done to him. There wasn't even a foul. And this is the part that's disappointing to me, right? It's like we said, I forget which one it was. It was either Tim Legler or Richard Jefferson. One of them said it's getting too physical. The refs need to get this series under control. And that was an example. That at the very least, you guys, is a foul. Like an obvious foul happening with the two biggest stars on the court. You can't miss that. And so then to double down and not give him a flagrant, or it feels like doubling down if you're a Knicks fan, and not give him a flagrant, then you introduce all of this conversation of, man, it really seems like they're favoring the Spurs, when, just do a better job on the court day of. And this in-between talk doesn't have to happen.
Right, but if you're going to have a system where you can review it and do it in slow motion and take your time and go over it, then if you're going to do that and have that system in place and get it right, like what's the point of having 99.9% of the players in that moment are getting a flagrant foul called on them in the game, in the moment. I think it's happening. And most of them, if not in the game, then it's getting overturned with review. This is an obvious case to me. I'm with Taylor on this, actually. This is an obvious case to me of the league not wanting Wemby to be one flagrant foul away from missing an NBA Finals game. That's what it is.
It's hard for me to say that this isn't a play that it was unnecessary or excessive, right? And again, like they say, they look for wind up and follow through. Well, there's not really a necessary wind up here, but there definitely is a follow through. So that seems to fit the criteria. So it's hard to argue against that.
He's 7'5" going to a 6'2" guy. The wind up is just doing the action. It's already far enough to be a wind up.
That's why I'm saying the optics are never going to be favorable for Wemby in that spot. But you know what? It was unnecessary. I don't care.
This series so far has felt like a WWF match where they have a special guest referee. Yeah. And they're like, the special guest referee is very clearly close to one of the wrestlers. And I'm coming in with skepticism saying there's no way you call this a fair match. And they're like, no, we're going to call it fair. And then I'm getting pedigreed by Triple H in the fourth quarter of every game.
I don't know who that is.
Pedigree, Triple H.
I have a question, though.
Those are words.
If this series goes however long as it goes, and Wemby still does not get another flagrant foul, is this even a conversation? Does it matter to you?
What matters to me is, and I think you brought this up yesterday on the radio show, if he gets a flagrant, he's one away from missing the game. It would totally change how Wemby would approach the game defensively the rest of the way, right? Like if they assigned him if he got the flagrant foul yesterday, he would play differently tonight, is he?
No, he probably wouldn't shove somebody in the head,
yes.
And Izzy, the closeout of Josh Hart, like Wemby has been killing the Knicks on closeouts, getting to everybody's shot with his wingspan. I think if Wemby's one foul or one flagrant foul point away from missing a finals game, all of a sudden in the back of his mind, he's going to be like, I can't close out as hard because if I land in somebody's landing zone, I'm going to be suspended from a finals game.
I have a hard time believing he would have to change the way he plays because a lot of the time when he is closing out, he's going straight up. Like he's not even coming close to where they are because that's the advantage that he has. He doesn't have to be that close.
Right.
I do think, in a situation when somebody's hugging him, he would be a little bit more careful on how he escapes that situation. But is that really affecting how he plays? Maybe not. I mean, it might. I'll give you this. It might affect his physicality, right? It might affect, hey, if Mitchell Robinson's coming at me hard, I can't then respond back because it might be on me that flagrant. I will give you that. That's possible. But will it change that much of his game? I don't know. And is that enough of a reason for the NBA, if they are this conspiracy, setting this in motion, is that enough of a reason for them to do that?
To Stugotz's point, I wouldn't want Wemby to get suspended because then there's always that asterisk over if the Knicks win it. It's like, oh, well, you didn't have Wemby. Like, that's not what you want. But you do want him to not be able to do the stuff that he's been doing as blatantly. You don't want that to happen.
I saw a smirk come over Taylor's face. He's laughing
Taylor would take it in a second.
Because he wants Wemby to be banned from the NBA.
I'm laughing at Izzy saying nobody wants to see Wemby suspended because I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, I would much rather see Luke Cornett
Not
out
nobody.
There,
Not nobody.
My bad. I said that.
Here's somebody.
I will say this, though. If the NBA wanted to clean up the series, they would have given him the flagrant because that gives everybody. It's like, oh, Wemby can't play physical. The refs are just going to clean up the whole game, and pretty much everybody will be in foul trouble if they want to keep playing that way.
Yep. Suspendy.
By the way, I've been so happy to hear that I was not the only person annoyed that the ref called him Wemby. Like everybody that I hear now says that's a little too casual. I know the whole world calls him Wemby, but you don't call everybody. You don't call LeBron. I don't even know what his nickname is. The King, right? You don't go, oh, the King. It's the King off the King. It's Laker.
Right. Yes. Right. Well, and LeBron gave himself that nickname. I mean, no one gave it to him. He just decided he was going to take it. Are you talking about when the referee is reviewing plays and he's giving us the play? Oh, I love that. I love that he's calling players by their nicknames, by their names. He's not doing it by number. I like it. I don't know.
Well, now he's just going to have to call other people by their nicknames too. Is Brunson Burner? Is that his nickname, or is that just something that happens?
I think Captain Clutch. I think Captain Clutch is what they would go with.
Wow, if they said Captain Clutch after a review in the fourth quarter,
we should recreate the Stugotz of referees reviewing a play. Thank you, Izzy.
We'll do that. Idea. We will do that. Whenever there's a review, Stugotz goes to the booth. We come back. Stugotz announces whatever the hell he wants to announce.
It's so good. Why is it? People really are getting upset about the referee using the name.
Or is it better if you have an actual referee and you just pop up behind him and say, Wemby?
Actually, let's do it that way. You do it as a serious referee, and I will just pop up
if we ever have a dispute.
Your shoulder with a nickname.
Yes. All right, we'll do that. But yeah, no, there was a few people that were said that was a little casual. Sounded a little friendly, especially when everybody thinks the refs are on the Spurs side. And I was like, thank you. I'm glad you agreed with me. That's all.
Right. Okay. I mean, you got to shorten Wembanyama. No one wants to say that, right? Everyone. It's just easier to call him Wemby, right?
What's his number? Number one? Say number one. I mean, don't call him Wemby. Don't call him the alien.
I honestly had no idea what his number was when you asked me that question.
I think it's one, right? It's either one or
consecutive games. Yes. Yeah. I didn't know that. Taylor, what are you expecting tonight? What are you expecting? Are you nervous? What are your feelings here headed into a big game 4? Because I love how these series work, where a lot of people say, hey, if the Knicks lose this game, I just can't see them coming back from that. And those are the same people who said, hey, there's no way I could see the Knicks winning the first 2 games on the road, and there's no way I could see San Antonio winning game 3. And now they're telling you, hey, if the Knicks lose tonight, it's a wrap. The Spurs are going to win this thing. The Knicks can't come back from that. It's sports. It's competition. We're not supposed to be able to predict the outcome. And therefore, no one should be shocked as to what has happened and what's going to happen in this series. But what are you feeling tonight, Taylor?
Taylor, I thought he was going to say, I love a good game 4.
It's a big game. It is. I mean, it is. It's a swing game.
It's probably the biggest game 4 in Madison Square Garden history, right?
Oh, easily. Yes. Easily.
What I'm expecting tonight.
It's not.
They have to go back to the Karl Anthony Towns offense, where the offense feels like it's running through them, because for as much as I love Jalen Brunson, even I could watch that game and say the offense looked like they got stuck in mud because it was just Brunson playing hero ball for 20 seconds of a shot clock. If he didn't have anything, he would just toss a grenade to somebody. So I think the Knicks have to get back to that offense. What I'm hoping for is that this team has had a response all season. This team has a response in the playoffs. I do think if they lose tonight, it's over. I hate to say it.
What?
You can't go up 2-0 going to your building, lose both games, and then still win the series. I think there's too much momentum going back to San Antonio in that case, but this is an older Knicks team to be able to respond to that. I don't know. I'm all over the place. I think the Knicks are going to win. I think the Knicks are done if they lose tonight. It's not a good place to be.
No, it's 2-2. Headed back to San Antonio.
And it would just keep starting. By the way, Stu, I'm laughing because in the always Knicks, what is that, a towel behind you? You can recognize the last playoff game that Taylor could afford, because it says round 1, game 1 in the corner.
Yes. Well,
you could not afford another game after that because those tickets are ridiculous.
Izzy, don't you find that funny, though? Taylor just fell into the trap that I was talking about, where tonight is a must-win. Knicks have to win. If they don't win, I can't see him winning the series. It's going to be San Antonio's series.
It's fandom.
To lose here. But no, that's just not how these series work. Of course, listen, you're going to be depressed if San Antonio wins tonight. You squandered an opportunity coming back 2-0 on your home court. You couldn't win a game to at least get it to 3-1, right? But it doesn't mean the Knicks can't win game 5 on the road. They won games 1 and game 2 on the road in San Antonio, and no one should be shocked if they beat them in San Antonio again. These teams are evenly matched. It's going to come down every game to the final couple of minutes, and the Knicks are going to win some of them, hopefully 4, and the Spurs are going to win some of them, hopefully 3. You know?
I won't be shocked, but I think when you're watching these two teams, the law of averages say the Spurs aren't going to keep losing at home. The more opportunities you give them. Like, if the Knicks need to go 4-0 in San Antonio to win the NBA Finals, good luck. And when you see these two teams in San Antonio and in New York, I think you're seeing the gap when the people like FanDuel are putting out the lines where the Spurs in San Antonio, they're about a 7.5-point favorite against this Knicks team every time. And then when they're in Madison Square Garden, it's -1.5 Knicks. Like, these two teams are pretty close, but you don't want to give the better team, which is admittedly probably San Antonio, the home court advantage.
Right. A title's a title. But, Mikey, do you want to win a title and not win a single game at Madison Square Garden, meaning all 4 games on the road in San Antonio? I'd be happy. I'd be just as happy.
Can you have the parade in San Antonio?
Right. Once we're done with Philadelphia.
Right. Mikey, are you saying no? Flatly no? You would want to win a game at the Mecca?
I think if it's been as long of a drought as it has been for the Knicks, you take it any way you can get it.
We could win Game 7 on the fucking moon, and I won't care.
But you don't have them winning Game 5. If they, God forbid, they lose tonight. I mean,
and then a lot of people would say it was fake and it was staged, and you didn't really win that one.
Yes,
it was done on a sound stage in Burbank.
The thing that I want to see from the Knicks, if I was a Knicks super fan, is I want to see better containment of those, the Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, maybe even De'Aaron Fox every once in a while when he gets in the paint. I want to contain those guys better because, frankly, Stephon Castle being on one in that first half is what kind of saved them in the first half. And then, Wemby kind of did his thing in the second half. But the Spurs are always going to need at least one of those guys to have a very strong game. It'd be great if all of them did, but one or two of them have to have a very strong game. And if you can sort of limit them, because we've seen Vic kind of pace himself in these games. He's kind of allowed whoever else is hot at that time to kind of keep them afloat. And then he'll come in, with the dagger when necessary. And if none of those guys are going, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Victor Wembanyama when he does decide to turn it on. So if you can really limit those guys, especially when they're trying to get into the paint, would go very far in a Knicks victory.
Izzy, because of the stakes of this game, because you have a Knicks fan like Taylor saying, hey, if the Knicks lose, I can't see him bouncing back from this. Who do you expect here? Because Brunson he's been good. He hasn't been great. Wemby has been great at times in this series. One of those two guys for me is going to go off tonight. Who is more likely to do so? Is it Brunson or is it Wemby?
Wemby or Brunson? I mean, I would say more likely just that things get to their averages, probably Brunson, because he's been shooting it so poorly. And there was a handful of shots where I'm like, yeah, he normally makes that. Like, of course, there were some tough shots that they forced him into, but there was a few. So if he's on a real Brunson burner, I think he's almost due for one of those. I think, it's more likely him because Wemby has been shooting his shots. And I don't know if he's going to get any more efficient unless he's, at the rim every possession.
Izzy, if the series ended today, who do you think would be the finals MVP? Because it seemed like through two games.
So Knicks up 2-1, that's championship?
Yeah, it seemed like the consensus was going to be Karl Anthony Towns, but you're looking at Karl Anthony Towns, like, has a finals MVP ever not scored a single point in the fourth quarter through three games?
Probably not. I'm going to guess probably not. Even Andre Iguodala, I'm sure, scored in every fourth quarter. But man, who would it be right now? Maybe OG.
It could be OG. And by the way, OG, when he's playing that well offensively, get him more shots. I don't know what Brunson's doing. Get him the ball, man.
Yeah, well, he was the best Knick in Game 3. He was very solid in 1 and 2. Defensively was good, not afraid of Wemby. It's probably him. It's a little bit unfair to Brunson. It's a little bit of the Steph Curry effect too, right? Where he was leading scoring in their team for like 75% of the games, but didn't win the MVP. But yeah, I'd probably say OG right now by a hair.
You agree, Taylor?
My default is just say give it to the best player on the team because Brunson is still averaging 27.3 even if it's on 37% from the field. But it's a case of head and heart because
he's got the head part.
My head says Karl Anthony Towns has been the most dominant player in the series, and when the Knicks have won their games, it's because he's been the best player on the floor. So that's why I would still lean Karl Anthony Towns going into Game 4.
Well, thankfully, they don't award these things after 3 games, so things can play out a little bit more. But, Taylor, I wanted to ask you something because I saw on social that Michelle Beadle acknowledged, maybe not by name, but acknowledged the tattoo bet, right?
Yeah.
What'd you think of the AI-generated tattoos that they threw up there? Because in my mind, you're just getting that little tiny alien head, but they did a whole figure in, like, uniform, right?
Yeah, so this was communicated on the side with Michelle Beadle. I don't know why they put those projected tattoos out there.
Okay.
Because it was like a full body Jalen Brunson and a full body Wembanyama. And she reached out and was like, hey, it's a small hand symbol, right? And I was like, yes, it's a small alien too. Like,
okay, so she was just as scared as I was.
I'm not getting the full Alien versus Predator alien with a Victor Wembanyama jersey.
I wish he was.
Oh, man.
I kind of want that to be the best.
If it's tied at 2 and it's a best of 3 series, you got to raise the stakes.
Yes. Are you at all nervous, Taylor? He's nervous. He might have to get a tattoo. You don't care about the tattoo, though, right? Yeah.
The list of worries I have right now, the tattoo is so far down the list where it's like,
what are your list of worries? I'd be interested in seeing the list of worries.
Hang on,
right
Taylor's clearly got the better end of the tattoo situation, right? Because for the rest of her life, Michelle's gonna have to explain why she's got these 3 fingers somewhere on, and it's just like, whoa, Michelle.
My list of worries, Stu, number 1 is the 7'4" alien manning the paint for the Spurs.
Right, right, and a league who clearly just doesn't want to suspend him. Right, go ahead.
That's a whole other point. Adam Silver, you lighthead bulb.
I think they still have PTSD over Draymond getting suspended and that one finals being in question ever since.
He's so pleased with himself. I want more list of worries.
Oh, you want more list of worries, or do you want the conspiracy theory? My Spurs conspiracy theory.
Go ahead with your Spurs conspiracy theory, and then come back to your list of more things you're worried about. Oh, here he goes.
Oh, jeez.
He's got tinfoil.
He's got the tinfoil hat on.
Yeah.
Follow me down this rabbit hole for a second.
You could use more tinfoil, make that thing more stable.
Yeah.
Well, it is more stable. I just chose. That's just how I wear my hats.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Spurs' young core of Victor Wembanyama, Stephon Castle, and Dylan Harper. 3 straight years of getting a top 4 pick.
Oh boy.
Huh. That's strange. 3 straight years getting a top 4 pick. Year 1, they have a 14% chance at getting the number 1 pick to get Wemby. They have better odds of falling out of the top 4, 47.9%, than getting the number 1 pick. They get Wemby. Year 2, they have the 5th worst record in the NBA. Higher odds to not get a top 4 pick than to jump into the top 4. The odds to get a top 4 pick in back-to-back years, 21.9%. They get the 4th pick, they get Stephon Castle. Year 3, and the most egregious one, and this is where Adam Silver got cocky. He made a fatal mistake, and now I'm on to him. They have the 8th worst record in the league. They only have a 26.2% chance of jumping into the top 4, and a 12.3% chance of jumping into the top 2. Surprise, surprise, the ping pong balls fall their way. They go from 8 to 2. They get Dylan Harper. The odds of San Antonio getting a top 4 pick in 3 consecutive years, 5.7%.
I'm just going to trust your math on all of that. Okay, so
I'm sold.
The conspiracy being that San Antonio has something on the NBA, because I don't really understand why the NBA would want San Antonio to be this great
That's where the conspiracy falls apart, where why would, if the NBA were going to do this, why wouldn't they do it in New York? Why wouldn't they do it in Boston? Why wouldn't they do it in LA? That's where it kind of falls apart.
Why don't the Knicks have a title since 1973?
Because this is exactly this.
Guys, didn't you hear all those numbers?
Let me hear him.
Stop asking questions.
You know what? I apologize.
Stop asking questions.
You're right. Izzy, I apologize. Let me hear the numbers again one more time, and then let me determine for myself. I'm sorry. Perhaps I didn't hear them correctly.
Year 1, they have a 14% chance at getting the number 1 pick to get Wemby. Also,
14%.
You have to keep in mind, San Antonio is like the NBA's like model franchise of how to do it in a smaller market, even though it's in Texas. Like, they had Pop, they had Duncan. I'll get to Duncan too.
I think it was San Antonio, and now perhaps it's Oklahoma City. But let's keep going.
Well, who had the greatest odds that year of getting Wemby?
They all had the same odds. It was the 14%.
Right. So they had.
So who was it? Who
two other teams had the highest odds to get him.
I'll look up who the other teams were.
No, this is important. Listen, we're trying to help you out with the conspiracy theory here to make it, pass the
14.
sniff test.
He's doing the right thing, because 14.1 sounds like a little bit, but it's also the most any team could have.
Right. Yes. They had as good a chance as anyone else in the NBA of getting him. Right.
Hold on
the
a
other
second.
two teams.
Yeah, just stall for me for a second.
No, I think the one number that matters was the last one, Taylor. Yes. Their chances of getting moving up in the lottery in 3 consecutive years was, I think you said 5.1%.
Right. All right. He's got it.
Yep. The 3 teams were Detroit and Houston, along with San Antonio. And then Charlotte was 4th. You think Adam Silver was letting Victor Wembanyama go to Charlotte, North Carolina?
No.
Portland moved up in that draft to number 2.
So Detroit, right? They've whatever. I'm following you. Keep going here. Let me hear the numbers. All right.
So year 1, they had a 14% chance of getting the number 1 pick to get Wemby. again, better odds to fall out of the top 4 than getting the number 1 pick, 47.9%. They get the number 1 pick. They get Wemby. Year 2, they have the 5th worst record in the NBA. Higher odds to not get a top 4 pick than to jump back into the top 4. And the odds to get back-to-back years with top 4 picks, with their odds, 21.9%. They get the 4th pick. They get Stephon Castle. Year 3, they have the 8th worst record in the league. They have a 26.2% chance of jumping into the top 4 and a 12.3% chance of jumping all the way up to number 2. They go from 8 to 2. They get Dylan Harper. And you're looking at teams across the league. Since 1985, when the lottery was enacted, the Pacers have never gotten a top 4 pick in their 11 tries. The Jazz finally got their first top 4 pick this year on their 12th try. The Miami Heat have never moved up in the lottery.
Not once.
The Spurs have had top 8 odds 6 times. They've moved up every single time.
Wow. Every time.
Mikey, I apologize. I heard it again in all its glory. Fucking conspiracy. I mean, seriously. And I'm going to go put tinfoil on my head right now. I mean, I am.
And why are we changing the rules now for the draft lottery? Adam Silver's coming out and he's saying it's because of tanking. It's not because of tanking. It's because Adam Silver ensured the Spurs got their young core. Now he's trying to cover his tracks. This is his Icarus moment where he flew too close to the sun, buddy.
Maybe there's just a bunch of aliens in San Antonio. Maybe that's the thing. Adam Silver, alien. Victor Wembanyama, alien.
A couple of black SUVs just pulled up to my house.
You lost me at Icarus.